Yes. So a couple of things we've just been mentioning and that I want you to sort of get in your minds. Yeah, packet tracer, I recommend you sort of find that. You might find it on the Cisco site and download the one that works for whatever device you've got. And sort of have a play with that, have a look at that. The other thing is the textbook. I did send a link, I think. Did anybody see the link? I think I put it on D2L last week or earlier this week. And but I will do it again now because we've got new people in the class that weren't here last time we spoke. And so the link that I'm referring to will direct you to my OneDrive, where I have a bunch of folders. And I had to put it on OneDrive because it's so much, takes up so much space on the drive. I couldn't send it by email. But there's a bunch of PDFs and other, pictures, full chapters from the textbook that we're using, so you can have access to that. Now you will notice when you access that it does say not for sale. I assume that means don't give it out to people either. I mean, it's really just for us to use in class, but you'll find that we're at university now, or supposed to be, so that means the courses will take a more of a university type nature to them than a college, and that means that we do have a bit of theory that we have to sort of get through, and the basis of that theory will be that textbook. And so that's why I wanted to share it with you, because it's probably quite likely that that textbook is not available in the bookstore. It may be, I'm not sure, but I will, at the end of, as soon as I'm talking to you here, I will send out the link again for that. And so you can share from my OneDrive and have a look at now the textbook is not one big file. It's multiple files, because they're quite sort of, there's a lot of images in the files as well as a lot of text, and it is PDF, so that you can't just copy the words. I think so they've imaged every page probably, I think. But that would be useful for you to sort of have a look at the end of the chapters. There's some questions, and that would be the basis of how we do our assessments as well. To tell you about the assessments, I suppose there is a 30% exam. Then we have a mid-semester. Was it mid-semester 20? I think it was. Then we have 2 quizzes, and so I think they're like 10 each. So there we go. That's 20. That's 40, and that's 70. And then we have assignments. So assignments, when you look at the breakdown of the course, it won't say anything about labs, but I think that you could understand that the assignments will fit into the labs. Now, any major assessment, that's like the mid-semester. We have a mid-semester, so it's weird. So I mean, we have 2 quizzes and a mid-semester. So that might sound a bit weird, but I think the way that we're going to end up doing that is that the mid-semester will probably be comprehensive up to that point. That is, whatever chapters we get to, by the time we get to the mid-semester, we'll test all of those. Whereas the quizzes may be just a subset of those chapters, just 1 or 2 chapters at a time. Then the final exam, university model would be for the final exam to cover the entire course. And so I think that you should maybe expect that. The other thing that you should expect on that assessment is, even though we don't ask everybody to come into all of the lessons, you will be required to come in for those assessments. So when we have the mid-semester exam, when we have the final exam, not necessarily with the quizzes, so that depends on what Mr. Sean and I sort of decide, because it's Sean Reed and I are doing this course. I don't think anybody else is doing it. So we'll decide on that. And I noticed that Sean seems to lean heavily towards trying to do that online. Also to teaching online. Now, the way the college has told us what we have to do next week is that we have to, all the lecturers, all the instructors, we need to be on campus unless we have a good excuse, and that's cleared from the management. So you would be able to find us here. Now, when I say you'll be able to find us, you know that we have this kind of drama going on in our corridors at the moment, with people trying to streamline their actual programs, because their programs all got changed to degrees, and some people that suited really well. Some people needed to do a little bit of tweaking, and so that's all happening now. But once that dies down a bit, you'll be able to find that you'd be able to find my office, and you're quite welcome if you needed to sort of come in here. But I'll be here all the time. We also have a classroom which is set aside for us. I'm sorry, I'm referring to my timetable itself because I don't have that off the top of my head. But yeah, oh, here it is. 10-2-1-4. So we'll be having our lectures and labs. So it seems that so this is a university style course. So we separated the lectures from the labs. So you'll notice that in this space, it says that it's a 3-hour space. This would be a lab, but it would be in the same room where we do our lectures. So what do I mean by that? 2-1-4 lectures will be next week. But what I think I'll do with the lectures is we are allowed to have 50% of the students in the college at the moment. And one of my students in the previous class was saying that there's stage 4 is coming now. And so those sort of lockdown type ideas might change a bit. I'm not sure on the dates on that. But at the moment, we're allowed to have 50% of all of the students in the college. That doesn't mean 50% of any particular course. This means 50% of all the students in the college can be at the college at a time. And 100% of the faculty teaching staff can be here, and 80% of the other staff that aren't teaching. So some people that work here as support staff, they can't all be here at work at once. So some of them have to take days off every once in a while. But the faculty, we are allowed to, and in fact required to be at work every day. So I'll be here. You may come. Now, what I'm suggesting for next week is that I'll go down to the classroom. So it's 2-1-4, and I will take my laptop computer with me, and I will do the lesson from there. And what I will do is I will do it as a mixed media, if you like, or a hybrid type course. That is, what I mean is at the same time as I have people in the classroom, I will be Zoom calling to people who are not in the classroom. So I won't be requiring people to attend in person. So what I mean by that is you can stay home and access by online. And I'll encourage some people to do that, because I think we might get up over the 15 people otherwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So we got like 15 people here. I mean, if everybody was here at the moment, came to class on our next class, that would be okay. And our next class is next Tuesday. That would be okay. But if the other people, the 8 people that are not in this meeting, if they came, that would not be okay, because we would have too many people in a room at a time. So that's my suggestion. I'm thinking, and so what happens if 15 people turn up? I don't know, I might just ask the ones that came last to just go and find another room where they are, social distanced, and log in, because we have Wi-Fi everywhere in the college, and just to do it that way. But people that show up early and come into the class, I'll just let them in the class, and so we can have a in-class thing. But I think that's the fairest and the easiest way to do it. Maybe you have some comments on that, but that's what I'm thinking for next week. Is I'm just thinking I'm probably going to do that for the rest of the semester. I'll just go down to the classroom, just like it was a in-person lesson. Whoever shows up, the first 15, they're in. Who comes later, I'll ask them to go to another room. And if the Ministry of Health changes its rules and says, you know what, you can have 20 people in a room, then I'll just ask you all to come. And I do understand that there are going to be some people who get caught up with, for whatever reason, they come in contact with the COVID somehow. And so they end up with a positive PCR test, and they won't be able to come to the college. And so I guess we will have to just do, an online version of it, a Zoom version of all our lessons. So you're gonna have to bear with me. We're gonna work through this technology, maybe together, and then we can sort of get it. But I think what I like to do is to actually go down to the classroom and see what 15 students come first. I hope that you feel that that's fair. I don't have anybody sort of pushing back on that, so I'm guessing that there's not too much sort of passion regarding that. What do you think?
Sir, hi, sir.
Zahra?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a suggestion. Is it
Go ahead.
okay?
It is okay.
How about you? Yeah, how about you do like two groups and each group attend a class and the other group attend it online, and at the next class it goes opposite.
We could do that. What are the rest? Yeah, okay, then there's even less people in the class. But that way, I like that idea, Zahra, because it means that we wouldn't have people arriving and being told that they couldn't come in. Good thinking. So let's do that. I will break the class into two groups, and I'll say, okay, so this week this group comes, that, and the other group stays home for online. Next week, yeah, and in every case, the in-person lesson will work. With the in-person lesson will be optional, but it'll just be for half the class. Great idea, Zahra. That way we'll never have 15. I'll never have to close the door. Awesome. Thanks, Zahra. Good thinking. Don't know why I didn't think of that. Anybody else got an idea that they'd like to mention? Besides that, great idea. That was good. I saw nobody's pushing back against your idea, and I like it. So that means we're probably going to do it. Any other ideas that we'd like to discuss? Now, bearing in mind that this meeting will close, I have these 40-minute meetings, and I like to stick to that because I think students, 40 minutes, you start losing your attention anyways. I'm kind of going to go with that. I've just taken a snip so that I can see all of the students that are here, and I'll use that as I'll enter that into my role as for the attendance. So at that point, I'm just going to ask you, and so I'm kind of winding up now. Any questions that you have of me that you'd like, or considerations that you'd like me to take? I need to count the students at the top there. It says how many's here. So we got 16 here. Okay, thanks, students. I'm going to just give you a minute, and then I'm going to close the meeting. As far as I'm concerned, unless somebody has something else to say, I think I'm kind of done. So I'm going to stop. So yes, please, everyone, do send your details to Sunshine if you want to be in the group chat. I found in previous semesters the group chat worked kind of good. You will find that that I'm not going to be sort of bombarding you with things, but what I do in the group chat is I try and answer questions. And I like it because one student has a question, probably often the question that one student has would be had by other students, so I can just answer it once. That works really good. And everybody can sort of refer to it. That's good. All right, so thank you again, Zahra, and thank you, Sunshine, and thank you everyone else that has sort of, Namra, I do remember you guys, I do remember Tuba. People who have sort of said, Munira, thanks all you. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
sir.
Hisham, Muhammad, thanks very much. And we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, sir. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.